Voting in South Africa continues as dissatisfaction with the ruling African National Congress threatens to end its 30-year political dominance. 27 million registered voters will elect a new parliament, which then chooses a president. For the first time since the advent of democracy in 1994, the ANC is at risk of losing its outright majority and could be forced to negotiate a coalition. New Central's correspondent Bongani Siziba has the details in this report.
Early with queues starting to form as early as 5 a.m., South Africans ready to vote for who they want to represent them in the next 5 years. The voting has been smooth so far, according to the Independent Electoral Commission.
First of all, I'm here to set an example for my daughter that voting is important, especially to bring about the change that we envision for this country. I think for me, it's the education and the health infrastructure in this country that's more important to me. So we are voting for education and health.
For a free and fair election, that everybody gets a chance to vote and that things get fixed.
The voting has been smooth so far, according to the Independent Electoral Commission. Former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan said he emulates the voting system in South Africa and urged other African countries to take note.
And of course, the Electoral Commission of South Africa is one of the best in Africa. They are very credible, are very competent. The current Electoral Commission has a former chairman of the commission as the commissioner, working under a new chairman. So you see how strong the institution is. And they have introduced a number of things that other African countries also need to. For example, they have online registration of voters, which most other countries have not started. Makes it easier for people to register as voters. They have diaspora voting, which is also quite good. Most other countries have not started diaspora voting. They have dedicated courts for elections.
As voting continues across South Africa, noted were government officials, opposition leaders and high-profile names. ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa made a grand entrance while surrounded by media and supporters in Siawelo, where he cast his vote, while EFF Julius Malema cast his vote in his hometown in Polokwane. Former President Zuma was in Kandla, while Democratic Alliance leader John Steenhuisen cast his vote in KwaZulu-Natal.
So it's wonderful to arrive here and to meet so many people who are coming to vote. They're voting for the stabilization and the extension of our democracy, and that is a great day for the people of South Africa. This is the day when South Africa decides on the future of our country.
With more than 50 candidates on the ballot and independent candidates contesting for the first time, this election is shaping up to be a highly competitive one. Citizens say they are looking forward to a better South Africa as they exercise their democratic right. In Johannesburg, for News Central, Bongani Siziba.
Let's get more updates from South Africa with our correspondent, Avuyile Sawula. Avuyile, thank you very much for joining us. What's the latest in your area?
Thanks for having me once again. Well, the latest here in Cape Town, in the Western Cape, obviously I reported a couple of hours ago that I'm still at the Civic Center and I'm still here. And, you know, I can report again that the queues are still quite very much packed, even though the people inside, the IEC officials are helping out and trying to do their best to make sure that everyone gets an opportunity to vote. But the queues are very quite long, I must mention, and people are waiting patiently to cast their votes.
There's been no breakdown of order anywhere in the course of this election so far.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Has there been any breakdown of order in the process so far, or people have been conducting themselves in very commendable ways?
Well, in the Western Cape particularly, you know, there's been, you know, swift, the voting process has been quite swift, to be quite honest. There's no reports of any fights in any voting stations, any scuffles or anything like that. There might be a couple of disagreements here and there, but the process has been quite smooth. I mean, in Kraaifontein, there was a scuffle between a DA member and the Patriotic Alliance leader, Gayton McKenzie, where, you know, the IEC officials, they were refusing to let Mr. McKenzie cast his vote, but eventually he casted his vote. And aside from that, elsewhere in the province, it's been quite smooth, and people are coming in their numbers in these late hours today to cast those votes.
All the prominent figures in the election, have they cast their ballot? Was there any difficulty in trying to do that you're aware of?
Well, as I've mentioned, the Gayton McKenzie issue at Kraaifontein, but he managed to cast his vote. Also reports coming in that in the Eastern Cape, in Tata, Bantu Holomisa, you know, he had struggles casting his vote there at Tata Hall, but you know, it's believed that he managed to cast his vote at Tata Hospital. So it looks like all the prominent political figures there that are on the ballot have managed to cast their vote.
All right, we will be staying with you subsequently for updates. Thank you, and remember to stay safe.
Thank you very much.